What's up? alexy1 here playing Sauerkraut, and we're gonna go for d4. But it didn't really yet turn out to be something I really know. So this is going to be a King's Indian. He's gonna go for d6 and e5. So I'm gonna go h3 here. And then I was planning to go something like this. I'm just, yeah, doing something strange here, but whatever. Let's see how he responds. Yeah, I'm gonna go for d5. I can just win a pawn, but yeah, it's not as simple as that. But I am gonna take it, just because I can. But it turned out to be some sort of Banco gambit now, strangely enough. So rook e1 is normal in such a position, I guess. Ooh, that poses some problems. This knight is jumping to d3, obviously. Bishop d2 maybe? But then knight d3 still, yeah? Annoying. So let's go queen c2. I'm not loving this, but it'll have to do. If knight d3, then rook d1 probably. And as I said before in a video, I'm going on a holiday soon, so I won't be posting a lot. We'll see what happens. This guy has got a massive rating, by the way. I thought he was, no offense, but I thought he was a bit weaker than that. If I go b3, then c4 is always in the air, so I'm guessing I have to go something like f4 here. And then b3, and then knight a3 is coming though. So a4 maybe? Yeah, rook b8, stopping b3. Might be the way to go. Rook b8, rook b1. And what now? I am going for b3 next. Yeah, okay, so that's a way to stop it. Maybe bishop f1? Going for some sort of weird knight g3 or something. The problem of a move like that is that c3 is always hanging. As a matter of fact, c3 is hanging right now, so I think I have to go something like knight b5 here. But queen takes a3 though. This is turning out to be pretty ugly. Queen takes a4, knight c3. Queen b4, knight c7. Oh, doesn't matter. Knight a3 was winning a material there for sure, but this is probably also pretty good. Pretty good. Bishop going to d4, I guess. Yeah, I'm having a hard time defending this. Okay, so I was going for pawn takes. I thought this was somewhat fine-ish. Might be wrong, but I guess he had some better ways of playing. But I might be wrong. I don't know. I mean, this is also still pretty good for him, so no matter. Ooh. I was going for rook f1 actually. But yeah. He's somewhat crushing me though. Sucks. Knight e3. Well, if he takes here, this is actually pretty interesting. I might be able to make a draw now. I might even win. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this is winning. So I guess he messed up somehow. Anyways, we win. So yay. He's in the examen, so I don't. Yeah, let's just start. Well, I'll just analyze here. Whatever. So I tried to get a Queen's Gambit, but yeah, the guy didn't play d5. No, you know what? I'm stopping this examen because there are a lot of people watching. So let's make another game. So yeah, now there are no people watching anymore, and he's not able to make moves anyway. So we went for d4 to try and get a Queen's Gambit going. Because someone told me to play one, and I figured, why the hell not? But he went for some sort of Indian. You don't yet know what is gonna happen now, what black is aiming towards, etc. So yeah, c4 is the main move here, and g6. This veers towards either the King's Indian or the Grunfeld. So bishop g7 is now it's a King's Indian. d5 is Grunfeld, and this is highly theoretical. Whatever. Bishop g7, and I figured I will not play something very normal, because the main move here is knight f3, and then bishop e2, and then e5, and this is very well known. So I figured, why not h3? There might be a little theory about this, and I'm not sure. I just figured I'll develop like this and see what develops. I played d5 here. I might be able to play bishop e3 here, actually. The problem, though, might be that this is somewhat awkward. This knight is a nice square on c5 and pressing on this pawn, and also e5 is nice, pressing on c4. So this might be just bad for us, actually. I don't know. I think I like d5. But now it's some sort of Benko Gambit, which is actually pretty fun since I played that with black. I know some things about it, but this is actually I guess a bit of a better Benko for black than it normally should be. Although this might actually be a natural position. I think black is a bit faster than he is normally, though, but that can't really be, since white has not lost any time by going king f1, king g1. The one thing that is in black's favor is that this bishop is here. Well, it might be debatable whether this is actually in his favor, but this bishop definitely presses on the white position. But it is somehow in the way. One of the ideas here is to play c4 and put the knight on d3. He went for the knight on d3 immediately, and that's one of the positives of having this bishop on the board. The downside is that this a file is closed somewhat, and that could be pretty annoying. If I could, I would prefer to go b3 and then bishop b2, but b3 just opens the door for c4 and just presses even more on my position. For instance, if I go b3 here, c4 might be, well, regarding the fact that knight takes e4 is already winning. c4 is definitely positionally very sound. Tactically, knight takes e4 is definitely better. I want to play b3 because I want to go, well, I might be able to go bishop d2 here, actually, because if he takes, oh no, I'm blabbering. I thought I'd have knight a4, but he could just take on d2, so I'm blabbering. So yeah, the problem of going knight d2, bishop d2 is rook takes b2 is always in the air. So that's why b3 is an idea. But yeah, rook e1 is a bit ugly, I think. I wanted to get out of this pin, but the rook isn't ideally placed on e1, for now at least. And yeah, His plan is pretty nice actually. This knight e5, knight d3. So yeah, there's not really any solid way of developing now. Knight d3, knight takes b2 is definitely a threat, so I have to defend his pawn. If b3, then I was still thinking c4, but knight d3 for sure. Well, knight d3 I was thinking here actually. So yeah, queen c2 seems natural. And I was somewhat afraid of this actually. Because the bishop now is stepped out of the way. b3 is never possible due to bishop takes b3. And knight d3 is coming in. What can I do? If I go knight f5, then g5 is always in the air, or bishop h6. It is a bit messy. So yeah. He went for knight d7. Rook d1 stopping threats on d3. And this is definitely a good idea. f4 needed to happen. And if I go b3 here, then knight a3 is the plan. And now these pawns are somewhat fixed, and you can just target them easily. And white has got too many weaknesses to hold this properly. So black is definitely fine. I mean, black is not winning by any means, but yeah. So a4, it's a bit ugly. Normally in the banker you go for a4 and then put a knight on b5, but it's not really possible here. And by the way, it seems like he can take here. And rook takes, I guess. Or bishop takes e2, yeah, that's much clearer. So if queen takes, then rook takes b2. And bishop takes, and then bishop takes a1, and yeah, it's nice. Anyway, he should have done that for sure, but that doesn't. That isn't. It's always in the air. I mean, like now it's not really, but rook b3 is definitely also a good move. So, I mean, black is just doing more than okay, as you can see by the evaluation. Yeah, I was thinking about this line here. And then knight c7, I thought. But yeah, it's very messy. Well, for instance, if bishop b7, then we're doing somewhat fine due to knight a2. And then c4 is hanging, b4 is hanging, b3 is... It's hard to cope with this. However, it seems like he has rook takes c3. So this all seems forced. And if we take on a6 now, I guess there's some trick. Knight somewhere, knight e3. Rook e1. Knight takes f1. And this is the point. Wow, that's insane. So I guess the knight is trapped. It's not. Is it? I don't... Yeah, it must be. Rook b7. Insane. Yeah, I didn't see that for sure. I mean, it is somewhat obvious that if you if you go knight c7, the knight is in danger of getting trapped. That's for sure. However, you should have went for this queen takes a4. This is also fine, I guess. But I thought maybe knight a3 here. Oh, but I can just take with the pawn and attack his queen. Sorry. Then he should take probably on b5. And I'm somewhat stalemated. Because I can't really go knight c3, or can I? I can still try this. But yeah, this is still winning. Bishop takes c3. He's up a pawn, and yeah, I have some issues there. However, he played knight e3, takes, and knight c3 somewhat seems to be stabilizing. At first I wanted to go bishop g2, but I figured he'll just take on b5. I thought with the rook actually, but and he's just got so much pressure. So therefore I thought I'll give back this pawn and hope to get somewhat of a practical ending, at least. And this is somewhat practical, even the engine says it's equal, which I didn't think. I probably blew it immediately. But yeah, all in all, even if I lose a pawn here, well, if I lose a pawn, then all these pawns are weak. So if I lose a pawn, I have to trade some pieces. But this rook c4 is interesting and annoying. And I think this e5 is just plain bad, because f4 is hanging, and well, this is just, yeah, it's just bad. There are too many weaknesses now. And black is winning it again, but this rook e7 could be pretty annoying. At least we're active now, so that's nice. Rook e1, and taking there, rook e7, it seems like it's a draw. I think even, well, now it's a win. So I had to go for something else. King g8, the engine says, but I think knight h4 is also possible, yeah? Yeah, because you're just gonna move back to f8. And if rook h7, then knight g6 holds. So yeah, during the game he went rook f4, and then we're just winning. If he goes to f8, that's probably the best move, but I'll just go rook h7 as well. And what is he to do? If this rook were on a8, there would be some perpetual threats, but it's not. So we're threatening rook h8 mate, and this is also mate. So this is a nice pawn to have on f6. It just makes all our mating threats. Yeah, and he just resigned here. So we got lucky. But a win is a win, and the ending was pretty nice. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.